We stop by here for a second, you can look over the William Mays Gate. Usually I go down and start down there, but since the group is really big, we're going to use the larger restroom. William Mays Gate overlooks King Street, 3rd Street being the corner, but we got a special address, 24 William Mays Plaza here at the corner. William Mays statue's out there. I'm hoping this rain is through by game time for sure. Game time comes in at 7:15. I think it will be, but there is a tarp on the field. You'll see it shortly. So the biggest gate in the stadium. It's a magnetometer world now. Barcode ticket reader operation. Other than us old school guys, we get our tickets. But other than that, it's barcode ticket reader operation around the major leagues. So yeah, biggest gate. There's a left field dual gate, the Marina Gate behind the stadium, ferry boat stop. And then the 2nd Street gate down the way at 2nd and King. Private. Feel free to go wherever you like. Feel free to go wherever you like. And work our way down. You know what? I take it back. We cannot do that. You got to go downstairs first. You know, even though it's raining, they said do the field first. So let me see if she's going to be out of here. Sorry.
John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're ranked number 1 in the baseball. They have the best record right now. So I'm excited. Yeah, no, I know.
It's nice, right? It's nice. Yeah. Definitely have the power.
Yeah.
People from newspapers, people from radio stations that aren't doing a broadcast, that are doing like going to do a sports talk or something. The official score, public relations people, stats people, lineup people, a whole variety of people, but just nothing live, which is done the next one up. So we have a number of English and Spanish broadcasters. We do a Spanish radio broadcast by Erwin Higueros and Tito Fuentes. Tito played for us from 65 to 74, something like that. Erwin has been long affiliated with that radio broadcast. And then we have Crook and Kite doing TV typically, and John Miller and Dave Fleming doing radio. So we've got 3 broadcasts. The visiting team would probably have the same 3 broadcast teams up there. There are about 8 booths up there that overlook the field where you can do a broadcast. So 120 seats here, windows sometimes open, that's what the hooks are for, but not as often as they are closed. When they are open, imagine you can see our backstop, about 20 feet tall. Imagine balls coming through here. Just, I don't want to scare these people that are having a good time here, but my first 2 years here was 2001 and 2. This was a sheetrock wall which looked like cannonball holes in it. And by the end of September, balls that came through here have a shredded hole in them. And so it was kind of a unique appearance when they're...
You mean business, okay? Yeah.
The service level hallway. This actually leads down to the clubhouses on either side. The Giants clubhouse is on the third base side at our park, which is a little atypical. Usually first base is the more chosen home dugout because it's closer to first base. And you're out more than you're safe unless you are a superhero just about. So very rare is a guy has over 500 on-base percentage. Although there are, at this point in the season, a couple that do early on. But for the whole season, very rare. Anyway, Giants took a third base side when they built because it's bigger. And so they had more room to add a swimming pool and a hot tub and a sauna, which the visitor side doesn't have, but that's partly home field advantage. So let us go this way. It is a working day, so the clubhouse is already filled with Cleveland jerseys and conceivably the manager for sure, probably coaches. So we will walk by the door there, but it is not an accessible clubhouse to us on game days. So you see one of our painters in the future there. There is about 6 or 7 painters. Their full-time job is to work on the stadium on a daily basis. So there's a nice full flow. So if you can access this other than our tour group, about 4,400 or 4,500 tickets for tonight's game will have access to walk in this hallway. All the seats down my home that need these various doorways to get to have access. And the suite level actually has access down there too. That's another 1,400 or 1,500 feet as well. So, but you can actually come down and watch the Indians work out. I don't see anybody in there now, but there may be early on. I heard there was going to be an early batting practice, but I don't, with rain, it's not going to happen. So basically, you can have fans come all the way down here. They have to be able to access this doorway, part of the seating plan. So basically, the Indians will be running back and forth across here, walking, and then down the stairs like we're going to do in a moment. So you step this way. This is the doorway to the Cleveland Indians locker room. It's decked out. I know for a fact, I saw this morning, I talked to the clubhouse manager, and they're wearing like a full red with blue, which in the old days, when I was in the 50s and 60s when I was growing up, it was gray on the road with your team colors in the piping. That was it. One jersey. At home, it was creamy white with black and orange for the Giants. That was it. And then gradually in the 70s, they got an orange top. And then pretty soon, but now most teams have 3 different jerseys. Cleveland probably has a gray with red or gray with blue. So I don't know who the starting pitcher is tonight. Somebody probably knows, a guy from Cleveland. He gets to call what color jersey he wants. That is typically the way they choose a color, because a starting pitcher, if he's got any superstition, and he's a ball player, he has to, it's mandatory, he is going to call the jersey that he feels the most lucky in. So if red with blue, he always wins on the road, he's going red and blue, guaranteed, until he loses, and then he will immediately switch to gray and blue, or whatever. Now the players do come in and they come walking down here. There is a back door, but typically they come in the front door here. There may be somebody trying to come in and get by here shortly that's going in that door. But they do come in early. They all stay in town here. Park 55 at the St. Francis Hotel are the 2 hotels. We've got a couple guys coming by here. How you doing, gentlemen? Good. All right. So we can get a little quick glimpse of blue and red. I would ask to hold the door open, but we've been admonished, like when on game day, especially the second tour, don't even think about it. So it's a numeric layout, but I will tell you, the front locker is an oversized locker. There are 4 oversized lockers, 2 for the Indians tonight. The front locker has, if you can believe it, Harvey considers the #1 guy, the big name player on the team, Nick Swisher. So number 33 is up in this front locker here. Go for Rod. Pitcher, the starting pitcher has an oversized locker. What's going on, babe? How you doing? Go for Rod. Never got a response.
Okay, I'm pretty close. I'm going to get those. How many people?
How many people are with your group, sir? So this is their indoor batting cage. It will definitely be used today. Batting practice conceivably may be precluded because they are not going to tear that tarp off until they know there's going to be a window of no rain for, you know, probably a couple hours. The control of a game is with the home team until the first pitch. After the first pitch, the control of that game is with the umpires. So like the Giants can say, not where, you know, we don't want to start, whatever. Once they start, then umpires have the call on what they're going to do. So, I mean, if the game's going on, they will be lining the railing when their teammates are batting, when this rain goes away. And, or they can sit up under here, however they want to do it. But typically while the team's batting, they are lining the railing there, watch their teammates bat. Tonight at some point, this heat element, not on right now, but it'll be on, cascading hot air down, make all the players warm. And then they've got phones. There's actually a new phone this year, of course, we're all aware that there is replays. They gotta go in and challenge and have a replay. So there is a phone down there that can call back to the guy that's analyzing the play to decide, and then that guy that's on the phone is gonna look at the manager and go, challenge it, or don't challenge it, or the famous one that I saw a couple times the other day, which means it's too close, probably not good to challenge. Because typically they're only going to overrule something if it's obvious. If it's very close, even if it looks like it's bang, bang, so close, they're probably not going to overrule it. But about a third of them are getting overruled, from what I've seen. Yeah, we don't have to walk along here. We can actually walk back in that way if you guys want to avoid the rain. But basically, there's phones that ring the bullpen. You can call the bullpen coach, get this guy up, how's he look, how's his fastball look, whatever. You can call the press box to alert them of changes in the lineup. And there's a phone that can call around the clubhouse and stuff. And then the brand new phone that just went in this year for the replay phone. So there's a long, it's ready to play on virtually right after it goes down. Because of the thick stuff. And they kind of seam it together really nice. So it's in very short order. It looks like it's been here all along.
Where's it from?
It was from McCormick Island, but they got another place. I don't know what the new place is. There's a little island in the Delta where they had the sod farm. They've used a different sod farm out in the valley, though, and I don't know the exact location of that or the name of that. I think they went with a different sod farm, though. Field is flat, and the field uniquely has no patterns in it. I'm guessing that every stadium that anybody here comes from, there's patterns in the grass. We don't mow patterns in the grass. They like the old-time look, and they've stuck with that through the managing general partner being McGowan, who liked it first off, and then Bill Newcomb and Larry Bear. They've always stuck with the no pattern look. So they love that, and it works for us. So if you see a field and they just show grass in the outfield, no patterns, that's us. You can bank on it. You can bet on it. Because I don't know any other stadiums that do that. Every game I look at, there's patterns. You know, only here. And so the groundskeepers, like I say, our head groundskeeper and his two top dudes have been amazing here. They have changed the subsurface of the sod. They installed switches that make the field drain faster. All the Dodgers that didn't come here like any other game, you know. Even Oral Verscheider, you know, I didn't trust that thing. Okay, guys, we're going to head up. We go up to probably the suite level, view level. Excuse me, the club level first. This is actually about 10% of the daily population has access to this. So the suite level tickets and the box seats around home plate can come in here. So about 4,400 fans have access. The rest of them, you know, just like the club level is exclusive. You got to have one of those 5,800 tickets. The suite level, you got to have a suite level ticket to get on the suite level. I'm presuming we got everybody. Okay. Yeah, so this lounge already, like I said, the Giants are always redefining their stadium. They gutted the lounge. After 5 years, they totally rebuilt it. They wanted it to look different. Are you the last two guys? Come on, guys, you need to catch up, or else we'll never get back at 2, and somebody's going to get a ticket and be mad at me.
There you go. I think they got that down.
So you can take the group up to...
World Series 2012. Okay. These are autographed baseball.
That was the only Giants hat like that. That was my first one, and that was the only thing there was for years. And then they came up with a hat in the world. Those were by who?
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. 29 others by everybody else. Like the most, second most is by Panda. I believe he has 6. And then all other teams have hit about 30 against us in those 15 years. So it's got to go over the fence in the water on the fly without bouncing anywhere. So we had a couple people that hit the pole way up high. I think Josh Reddick and Pablo Sandoval both hit a pole that if it just missed the pole, it was going to go in the water, but not a splash homer. Looking out behind me is McCovey Cove on the other side of the wall, of course. But for 150 years, it was always just known as China Basin. And China Basin basically was where products from Asia came over, were dropped off down there, and then we moved in here. But before we moved in here, they had a naming. What are we going to name that cove? Well, across the waterway on the other side is William McCovey's statue. You can see it to the right of the foul pole, straight ahead, just about the whole statue there, and that is on the far side of the waterway there. William McCovey, powerful left-handed hitter, and he hit plenty in my lifetime. Before they put a second deck on Candlestick in '71, he hit a whole lot of home runs in the parking lot, and that wasn't just over a fence. That was over the home run fence, over the bleachers, over the back fence, on the fly. Windows were broken, trust me, in cars that were out there. So they honor Willie by naming that McCovey Cove. And a couple other cool things out there. The out-of-town scoreboards are in the archways, but at the bottom of the 5 tall archways, you can watch the game for free. So it is, you walk in off the walkway that goes around the park, and you can walk right into, up to the fence there in the right field wall. 309 down the line, short by Major League standards. We needed to get a waiver to put a 309 foot fence in, but it's a 25-foot wall. So that is a lot harder than hitting it 335 feet down the line over an 8-foot wall. So it is a very tough ballpark to hit a home run in. The hardest home run ballpark in the National League in 2012. I'm not sure about last year. We only hit 35 homers here in 2012. About the same number in 2013. So that's not a whole lot of homers. We hit twice as many on the road in 2012, as I recall. Anyway, 25-foot wall. There are 4 brick towers on the wall. They are known as the water cannons. They shoot geysers up when we hit any homer. So, and they shoot them up when we have the national anthem. They do a little demo, kind of a display, and shoot them off then too. And as you know, we have gravity, so when the water goes up, wherever the wind's blowing is where it comes down.
Didn't the horn come from Candlestick?
The horn, yeah, good point. The horn right there below that Remax balloon in the right light tower, that is the one that sat under the right field wall. It goes off and we hit a homer. So the funny thing is, I've been here for many home runs. I've never heard the horn. I've never paid attention. I'm shouting. I need to go out and stand out there and wait for a homer just to hear it again. But in right field at Candlestick, it was up underneath the overhang. You could hear it everywhere because there was a whole, I don't know what they call them, where they have the sound goes out, but it basically shot out that sound all over the ballpark at Candlestick Park. Cable car kind of covered out there a little bit, but there's a cable car you can sit on tonight for the game. The flags will go up. One of the flagpoles has the standings in the National League. I'd love to tell you we're on top, but I'm guessing that maybe the Dodgers are a notch above us, which is never good. It was always fun when the Dodgers, I make a point to mention when the Dodger flag was on the bottom last year, but I stopped talking about it when the Dodgers rose to the top. So being a good Giants fan means being a disliker of the Dodgers, pretty much. But being a good Dodger fan, I found out, means they don't like us either, which was a surprise to me. After 40 or 50 years of watching the Giants, I watched a program about LA. I thought, they don't like us? I had no clue. I thought it was just us. Anyway, going around, of course, 501 to about where that foghorn is. And that sign was moved off where the Docker's deck is. Now there's a new arrangement over there with some seating and stuff right behind the Docker's deck. Behind that, the glove, 1950-ish, 50 or 51 Wilson glove. They took the original glove, computer scanned it, blew it up 36 times in size, made it out of high-density foam, fiberglass, color-tinted epoxy, marine rope, and made it look like the original. And it certainly does. The 4-finger version, they wanted a kind of a throwback look, so they went with that. And it is 516 feet on the fly to that glove. It has not been hit. Even in BP, in batting practice, it has not been hit. Although in 2012, I saw Giancarlo Stanton hit 2 batting practice home runs that went past the thumb high enough to hit it. So that means they were 520 or more feet. And Stanton is hit some long home runs. He hit one they showed in Miami that went up over everything and onto a deck back there. So that was 490 or something, 480 something. Anyway, a Coke bottle, 4 slides in the middle, and then a little ballpark for kids to play in out there. AT&T Park Jr. is usually wiffle ball. Sometimes our mascot Lucille's out there pitching. And kids get to play in that little ballpark. But the slides have now been changed to where it's 36 inches tall to 14 years old. I don't know how they determine whether somebody is 15 that says they're 14, but anyway, it's supposedly 3 feet tall and up to 14 years old now. It used to be for all ages, but now I guess you got to just go over and look at the glove a little bit. So,
what time does it open?
the park opens at 5:15.
Those
Yeah,
are
so 2 hours.
numbers out there are Hall of Famers, right?
The numbers on the wall, Hall of Famers, all retired numbers, all in the hall. 44, Willie McCovey. Working to the left, Gaylord Perry, Orlando Cepeda, Juan Marichal, Willie Mays, number 24, Number 20 joined the Hall of Fame in 2009. Monty Irvin, 95 years old, still alive. He wrote a whole thing and they read it here on Jackie Robinson Day, I think. And then working to the left from him, Carl Hummel, Mel Ott, Bill Terry. Before numbers, Christy Matheson and John McGraw. Microphones for Hall of Fame announcers, Russ Hodges, Lon Simmons, and John Miller, one of our current announcers. And then 51, remember 51 was the home run by Bobby Thompson in the playoffs versus the Dodgers in 1951. And 42 is Jackie Robinson's number. That is retired in every ballpark in the majors. In 97, they honored the 50th anniversary of the breaking of the color barrier. And anybody who had 42 could retain the number until their career ended. Well, most careers ended, but for the last 5 years, we've had one, Mariano Rivera. And Mariano's now retired. So the only time you see 42 now is everybody wears it on Jackie Robinson's Day, April 15th. So every April 15th, get your scorebook out and try to figure out how to 42 pitched it, 42 hit it, 42 grounded, threw it to 42 at first base. So, questions, guys?
The yellow line on 421 to the left, a home run?
To the left is a home run. Yeah, good point. To the left of that line, no matter if the ball rebounds on the field, it's a home run. To the right of it, if it bounded in the stands, it'd be a ground rule double. Otherwise, it's run as far as you can get.
Is that 756 where Bonds hit it? Or just a block?
Virtually, yeah, he hit it to the right of that by the opening, kind of, right there. That's where 756 went.
Any plans on retiring his number? Or what's instead?
The Giants kind of dodged that for a long time. McGowan, who is our managing general partner, said, well, only Hall of Famers get retired numbers. So it's up to whether he gets in the Hall of Fame, and it's whatever your opinion is about that. I don't see it happening for a while, maybe a long time, maybe never. That whole steroid era is too fresh, and unless they build a new wing or something, I don't know. I'm sure Barry wouldn't appreciate me talking like this, but I'm just being honest, my opinion. So I just don't think the Hall is gonna. I watch the vote every year. I know that you're getting 20 or 30%, and you got to have 75. And it's really not changing every year. Nobody is shifting their opinion. So, that being said, what are all your opinions?
It was legal when he was. It wasn't banned when Bonds was taken. If he was.
When Mark McGwire had androtestosterone or whatever in his locker, that was not banned.
Yeah.
That was not a major league issue. So he had it prominently displayed. Didn't say anything. Didn't worry about it. And so
when they
I
got on
don't
the
know
witness
about Barry, but other questions though on the subject of Brandon Crawford or Brandon Bell or Brandon Hicks or how many Brandons we got now? A bunch.
Brandon Crawford, I think the only Giant that hit the splash hit this
He hit a splash hit, walk-off homer this year. Yeah, he hit the only one. Last year, Brandon Bell was the only splash homer. In the old days, there were sometimes 5 or 7 or 8. Because Bonds hit a bunch. Between 2000 and 2007, he hit 35. So that's about almost 5 a year, average. But for a long time, he was the only guy. And then Felipe Crespo hit 2. And then Bonds said, "Get rid of that dude." No, Felipe was traded to Phillies and then went to Japan, as I believe. Anyway, other questions, guys?
What's the number of people that work on a typical game day?
A lot. There's probably, I'm going to say, 1,000 to 1,200 between vendors, cooks, security, and ushers. Yeah. I picked up because I give a ride to people coming into the city, and one of the guys gave me that number, a full house day, probably 1,200 or something. And of course, every day's a full house. Now, for the last 280 games or so. Well, let's go look at those display cases.
They probably put those glass up there
That's what his problem
So we got baseballs, a perfect game display case, the old bell, from Candlestick Park, you got run for every run. That's it right there. You'll appreciate that. So at the end of the inning, if we got 2 or 3 runs, we go ding, 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 and count off the runs on that bell right there.
They're bringing love. We gotta turn the flash off, but.
World Series display case, perfect game display case. You guys are curious what a mound looks like out of the ground? That's a pitching mound right there. The pitching mound that Matt King was using. There's a plate, a whole plate. That's what it looks like exposed.
Bounce a ball in here. Bounce it.
Yeah, he's got a ball in here. I have to find it again. I've seen it before though. Yeah.
Try to figure out how this
Yeah.
And then invite Sosa, who I think if McGuire makes a safe baseball in that game.
Yeah. If we're gonna get into a sweep,
I am. Look at it.
What's your favorite part about being a dad? What's your favorite part about being a dad? You like being a dad? That's what Pat's saying too. It's like you don't get to sleep, you know? You get more sleep than she does? You get more sleep than she does? Or does she get more than you? Yeah, no, Matt's getting some sleep now. He did it before. He's getting some now. Okay, you got it. You got it, sir. You just tell me what you want. We'll get it. Both of them or just one? Yeah, no. You're good. What do you want? Very nice. Now. Okay, check it out. We'll see it. Gotta go.
oh, sure, yeah. I think I told him too. Oh, guys. Now, the food is off limits, but you can fan out along the front row there if you want to, so you can get a sense of sweep. So it is stocked up for tonight. Yeah, just fan out all the way along there, and this is called the Champion Suite.
Wow.
And it's gonna run tonight, I'm gonna say it is probably near 10 grand maybe, I don't know, probably because of the bobblehead night. You can also step down if you like in that front.
What's up everyone? I hope you guys enjoy the AT&T Park tour. I'm here live at AT&T Park outside actually. Gonna get ready to see the Cleveland Indians versus the San Francisco Giants. I want to give a shout out to Stevie Breach. We were supposed to meet up today, but you know his working schedule wasn't. You know, he had to work. Work is more important. So yeah, Stevie Breach, if you're watching this, I don't know. I mean, I wish you were here. We could hang out, but hopefully we'll cross paths at WrestleMania next year. I also want to give a shout out to all my friends on Facebook. If you guys are watching this, see you later.
Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD.
Stadium right here, section 107,
Allow you to watch your sport smartphones and tablets. Plus, watch on your favorite devices, including Xbox One, Sony PlayStation 4. Get home away feeds, DVR controls,